Select the major product of the following reaction. So if we look at our starting material, we see that we have an acid chloride. And we are reacting this with two equivalents of a primary amine. So for this reaction, I think we should look at the mechanism to see what's going on here and what is going to form. So a nucleophilic acyl substitution reaction, that's what we see our carboxylic acid derivatives undergo. It's always going to have the general pattern that you're going to have a nucleophile attack your carbonyl carbon. And if you have an acid catalyst, you'd protonate your carbonyl carbon first. Amines are bases, so we don't have an acid catalyst, so we're just going to go ahead and use one of these equivalents of amine to attack that carbonyl carbon. So we can show this attack. So you always attack the carbonyl carbon, and then it's the pi bond that breaks. So we're always going to break that pi bond and put the electrons onto the oxygen. And so that gives us this oxygen anion. We have a chloride, and we've attached this amine. And so that nitrogen now has a positive charge. And so this is your tetrahedral intermediate. And if you've got a really good leaving group like we have here, this tetrahedral intermediate can collapse. So we're going to reform the pi bond and push off that leaving group. And so when we do that, we've reformed that pi bond. We still have this bond to nitrogen, and that nitrogen is still protonated. And this is where your second equivalent of the amine is going to come in. So you need a second equivalent of amine to remove that proton. So this is going to remove the proton to give us the neutral amide. So it's going to have this structure. And then as a byproduct of the reaction, you're going to form the ammonium salt. So you've got the other equivalent of the amine protonated, and the counter ion is, of course, the chloride that we kicked off here. So we are typically looking for the major organic product, and that's what you're being asked for in this question. So this is matching with option C. But sometimes in your sapling homework, it asks you for the other byproducts. So you might want to be aware that that ammonium salt is also forming.